man, I sent out a letter to my folks, like, this the last time y'all gonna see me. Y'all ain't gonna find me, like, you know what I'm saying? Contemplating, crying, riding down the highway. I parked, find the bridge, and really was like ready to jump, like for real, ready to jump. Yo, we back, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
Another day, man, another episode. Episode 7, you know what I'm saying? I watched the last video back, man. I put up 5 fingers for episode 6. But yeah, man, today gonna be another different one. Again, you know, we supposed to have somebody come on. They're running in, they had an emergency happen. They still may be able to make it. I don't quite know what the emergency was, but you know, hopefully everything work out for them. Another thing is our co-host, John, y'all know him as JJ. He will be up shortly. That brother he had a Chad Ochocinco moment, you know what I'm saying? But again, this is True Talk, episode 7. The Real Understands Everything. And yeah, man, so today gonna be a little different for me. One of the biggest topics is, and I'm gonna lay it all on the line, is mental health. Reason being is because I personally just went through that just yesterday. Today is April 19th right now. April 18th. Well, let me start over. Let me say this. I've been battling with my walk with God for so long. You know what I'm saying? Been doing things right, been doing things wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I was like conflicted inside. Anybody that know me, anybody that been around me, you know, like I've been, you know what I'm saying? That's something I always talk about God, always, you know what I'm saying? I always try to lead by example, but like I've always felt like you can't take that next step with God until you know what I'm saying, you be truthful with yourself. You got to look in that man in the mirror type thing, you feel me?
Facts.
And honestly, I haven't had a down mental health crisis that bad since 2022. Where it was like that bad, you know what I mean? And you know, once you deal with depression or mental health, it goes away, but it's almost like being a drug addict. Like it's always gonna be there. It's always gonna linger in the back of your mind. You know what I'm saying? When things get hard, like when you don't know who to go to, because ain't no blueprint in this life. You feel me? Ain't no blueprint on how to be a man. You just, you know what I'm saying? In my world, I didn't have the best examples. You feel me? I say all that to say, I had a situation that I didn't handle correctly, and in the midst of me trying to change and be better, you know what I'm saying, a better man of God, I allowed mistakes that I made in my past, like really weigh heavy on me. And when I finally like released everything, told everything that I needed to speak on, it felt like everybody around didn't like it. They had a judgment, was trying to paint me out to be an evil person, and that's not me. Anybody know me? You know, I give you the shirt off my back. Like I've always been a lover. Like even if you do me wrong, like I love you, feel me? Like I might not kick it with you no more, but I love you from a distance. That's just what it is. But yeah, man, I just felt it made me feel like, okay, maybe my life worthless, you know what I'm saying? And I ain't felt that way in so long, and to the point like, man, I sent out a letter to my folks, like, this the last time y'all gonna see me. Y'all ain't gonna find me, like, you know what I'm saying? Contemplating, crying, riding down the highway. I parked, find the bridge, and really was like ready to jump, like for real, ready to jump. And I don't know, I asked for a sign, and like as I asked for that sign, I'm like, if I don't get this sign, like I'm ready to go. Like I'll do it right now. Like that's how made up my mind was. That's how much the enemy was on me for real. And it's gonna sound crazy, but like I heard God say, like, it's not your time. And when he said it, bro, all I could do was I bust out crying. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it real with y'all. You feel me? This, like I said, this true talk. Bust out crying, fam. Stepped back from the leg and just like, my phone was on airplane mode, so it wasn't nobody was gonna find me. I was out there like 3 hours. And then I went for a walk to get away and just kind of like thought about things, thought about what mattered to me, what's important. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot going for myself, you feel me? we got this podcast, we got people that probably gonna hear this testimony and like it may do something to them, it may change their life. You feel me? Um, Long story short, I finally get back to the car and turn my phone off airplane mode. Let me tell y'all something, brother. If you in Dallas, dog, DPD is quick. That phone pings. Them boys was on me like white on right, fam. They found me too quick, man. And I feel bad and I laugh because, I cope with laughing and joking and stuff like that. Sometimes I do it to keep from crying, but you know, my mom panicked, you know what I'm saying? My mom in Georgia, she, in Atlanta, so she called the police, put out a missing person, but they couldn't find me again, phone in airplane mode.
Mm-hmm.
I had all this thought out, premeditated, like I'm about to go. Turned the phone off, called my mom, and like, I talked to my mom, I had a real conversation with her. I got support from my mom, like she know, like, I ain't evil, you know what I'm saying? My mama never said I wasn't evil, you know what I'm saying? But I did get a text from a person that said something to me that it shocked me. I ain't gonna say it shocked me. It shook me a little bit, but I didn't let it waver me because again, I had to remember, like God was reminding me that nobody got a hell or heaven to put you in, first and foremost. Secondly, ain't nobody perfect. No matter what it is, sin is sin. I ain't sitting here saying I'm the biggest Christian in the world. You know what I'm saying? I ain't sitting here saying I made the best decisions in the world. But I know I'm changed, you feel me? I know I'm different. I know I'm the same Eli with a different walk. I sang the
Mm-hmm.
same song with a different tune. You feel me? And so that's just what it been, man. Yeah, them boy from DBD pulled up on me. Man, I ain't never heard of no Parkland, fam. They treated me like a criminal, but I got marks on my wrist right now from handcuff, fam. They handcuffed me. They took me down to Parkland, and I told them folk, like, what I'm saying, I ain't no nut job, fam. Like, just life for life, and you feel me? I had a moment, and it's almost set me back, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sitting in there, and the little lady that trying to do this little evaluation with me. And she was like, "You're actually sharp as a tail." Like, I know. Like, I ain't crazy. I'm like, man, look. And another thing, too, I also found out my sister may have cervical cancer. So, if y'all hear this, pray for my family, man. It's just a rough time, you feel me? So all of that blended, it was a lot for me in one motion. Now, again, like I said, I could have handled some things differently, a lot better. Certain things transpired when I wasn't living right, you know what I'm saying, wasn't doing the right things. But at the end result is I got it right. You feel me? That's the main objective. Get it right. And I got it right. So that's my little testimony for y'all out there that's gonna hear this. I just wanted to address it. I ain't have to. I ain't have to bring that up on this platform. I ain't had to speak on this, but I don't know, it was laid on me. Like I had a dream about it. Like I had to speak on this. I had to put it out there because what would my podcast be if I didn't be honest? I call this thing True Talk. We call it True Talk. The real
Right.
understands everything. So if you're realist, you're gonna understand. If you've been through some things, you're gonna understand. If you ain't never handled something right, but you get it right, you're gonna understand. So that's why I stand at it. And the people that I don't know, they may not even watch it, but to the ones that are deeply affected, closely affected, that may have negative things to say about me, I still love you. All
Yeah.
is forgiven. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I still love you. No bad blood on my end. Cause I ain't carrying no hatred on my heart. Right or wrong, cool. You know what I'm saying? Again, maybe my testimony will be something to help change your life later on. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you might find yourself in a rock and a hard place and you can think back, like I remember when Eli went through this, like I seen how he handled it, or I seen how, you know what I'm saying, he might have did it. But one thing you can say, like Eli learned to lean on God. So that's where I'm at with that. But yeah.
Well, first and foremost, I'm glad you're still here, brother. Like,
So
for
for
real.
sure.
I mean, mental health is a real thing, especially in our communities. And I mean, just taking it seriously when you're not feeling well, just to go talk to somebody. I had a talk with my boys about that. My other homeboys that I grew up with that we've been cool since like fifth, sixth grade. They're my dogs.
Yeah,
Like we've been having to talk about mental health and just making sure to go see a therapist, bro.
for
Because
sure.
you definitely got to get that stuff, off your chest and not keep it in because like that's not healthy. I was dealing with stuff around 2020, from getting hurt, trying to figure out the whole draft process. to eventually getting picked up, and then just the transition out of football, just trying to figure out what life is. It's just a hard transition. People talk about it, but like until you actually experience it, like it's a very hard transition. And just trying to figure out how to be a man as well as a father without having, my actual dad around or having a true father figure. You feel me? Like, I mean, I have my uncles, I had coaches, but just having somebody on a day-to-day basis to talk with, didn't really have that. You get
Right.
what I'm saying? So it's just like understanding that, like, it's okay to not be okay. Like, and I know people that are, close to me that, experience situations, and in all honesty, I did not know how to handle it. And I'm
Mm,
gonna be real with myself. So it's just like like how I deal with stress and deal with trauma and stuff, like honestly just like cut everybody off, and I just really just try to lock in on what it is I need to do to get myself up out of it. I don't really like talking about it. I mean, at times I may get overwhelmed and, you know, may not know what to say, or I'm just like I feel like I'm in cruise control to where I'm there, but I'm not like mentally there. Like people ask me what's wrong, and like every dude says, I'm good. You feel me? But at the end of the day, just to say how you're feeling and get it off your chest instead of letting it weigh on you, because that person that you may be talking to or reach out to may be able to give you the words of wisdom that you need to be able to propel yourself and get yourself in a better mindset. And also just getting in that word, you feel me, putting everything and giving it to God. And that's one thing that I've been trying to transition to within these last, I would say, month and a half. Like it was that first half was like a little shaky, but this last month for sure, of like honestly, bro, just not like listening to rap songs and listening more to like Christian songs or something that just basically
mhm,
give me a spiritual uplifting motivation to get throughout the day. So I mean, for all of the viewers and followers that's listening, I would definitely say, what you listen to, what you put on your mind is how you gonna project to everybody else. And it's
Yeah.
just like I know there's people in my life I probably projected things not in my best version of myself, which ultimately hurt you or put you in a bad place or whatever. I apologize to everybody about that because it's just like that's not who I am. And
Right.
honestly, like that's not who I was raised to be with my granddad, my mom, just everybody. That's just not who I was raised to be, and that's not who I am in my core. But I mean, you live and you learn. Life is life. Like
Yes.
you don't take L's, you just learn lessons. And you just gotta keep it pushing. You feel me? So
Me.
I mean, to you, Eli, bro, tough time, hard times don't last, but
Mhm.
it builds soldiers. You feel me? So
So
just
you know,
keep
thing.
it, just keep it pushing, bro.
Somebody told me, God give it. I mean, it's an age old saying, God give his toughest battle to his strongest soldiers. But like another thing to harp on what you just said, Mike, is like I think we all know, what I'm saying, we all can count on a time or think back to a time where like it was easier to run from your problems instead of facing them. Cause
Facts.
like sometimes, boy, when you going through that chain, boy, you you don't know how it gonna look at the end. You feel me? Like you don't know what's
Right.
gonna happen next. But that's what I'm. That's becoming a man. You know what I'm saying? I feel like as I'm getting older, that's the one thing I'm realizing. Like again, Mike, you just harped on it. Like you had a granddad. You know what I'm saying? That would he raised you. He set those standards as a man. You feel me? Um, and for me, like my granddad got saved. I watched my granddad go from an alcoholic to all type of stuff, bro. My granddad was OG. But
Hmm.
I watched I watched them, you know what I'm saying, turn their life around to get saved, you feel me? But up until that, I didn't really have that type of example from like a male figure to be like, this is how it's supposed to be done as a man. I've had moments, meaning like
Hmm.
consistent moments of from my stepdad. He might have said some things, you know what I'm saying, when him and my mom was married back in the day. I might have learned a few things from my granddad, you know what I'm saying, just because he may not be living right or got his life all the way together don't mean you can't learn something from him. And that was something I did. I took away, like when I came to football, I would go over a friend's house, you know what I'm saying, especially keep it real, true talk. Where I grew up, you didn't have a lot of white friends over there. I started playing football. I was open to a whole new world. Like, oh, I got white friends now. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to see, you know what I'm saying? And it shouldn't be like this. You know what I'm saying? I'm keeping it real. It shouldn't be like that. But like going to see what life can be like, going to see like nicer housing, going to see the white dads that's a part of the family, you know what I'm saying? And I started picking little things, you know what I'm saying, that I felt was what I wanted in a dad from different men. If I had to build a perfect dad for me, boy, it's about 30 men I'd have met in my lifetime, all blended in one dude. You feel me? Like, so
Yeah, that's real.
I did, yeah, I mean, that was just my story. So, you know, like you said, sometimes it was just it's just easy to run from things, you feel me?
Right.
Oh, I didn't tell y'all, man. My bad. This is Bryce. Y'all have heard us speak on Bryce's name a couple episodes ago. This is somebody that I met Vic through. We went to college. He tuned in today, you know what I'm saying? He's our special guest without being our special guest, but you know, he came at the right time because you know mental health is the topic today, and I'm pretty sure him and Vic got several stories that they can share.
Boy,
You want to go
together? What is that bringing? Shoot, ranging from high school then on to college. You go ahead, cause man, you went through a couple of them.
Okay, where do I start? Shoot. Well, I'll say it really when it comes to mental health, I'll just tell my story first. In college, you know, as you all know, we all athletes here. I played football just like the rest of y'all. But yeah, in college or in high school, went to a high competitive, you know what I'm saying, high school, Den Geyer, if any of y'all heard of it. So there was a lot of competition out there. But we all had, you know what I'm saying, dreams and aspirations to go to the league, be D1 bound, all that good stuff, all that fun stuff. But, you know, coaches and Geyer, they were picking their favorites to say the least. You feel me? And, you know, when one thing about being an athlete that has those type of dreams and inspirations, it all falls down to your high school experience and how you carry yourself forward because like that's really your first impression on what it's like to be a part of a program that's high in competition and it has a team that wants you to win. So yeah, these coaches they did have their favorites. They had they all recruiting, and me and Vic, we weren't really the guys to be like the star athletes, even though we had the capability to be one of those. They just never gave us an opportunity to do so. In fact, they actually, our senior year, tried to low key pin us against each other because Vic was actually a receiver, right? And I was a corner. But our last year, one of the starting corners moved out to play at another state. So what ended up happening was that he was playing receiver, trying to get his reps in that receiver on varsity, and I was trying to get my reps in that corner. So what they did was, I don't know why, but they thought that it would be a good idea to put Vic for was it one game, like one game out of the season, to put him at corner while he was practicing at receiver. This is literally the week of, and mind you, we were about to play Allen. And at the time, this is when Kyler Murray was playing. So like these coaches were scrambling, trying to find a corner to put up against these 5-star receivers and 5-star quarterback. And, you know, and when it comes to mental health, like me mentally, I'm thinking like I'm right here. You know what I'm saying? I trained for this. I prepared all the way. I put the time in, did a whole bunch of summer workout, got it where nobody else is out there, you know what I'm saying? It's just me out there on the field. So, you know, when you put all your blood, sweat, and tears into something, man, and like favoritism is the reason why you're getting in the way, you know, that does attack your mental a little bit. But I do say that at the end of the day, you do got to bet on yourself. And that's how I carried myself through high school. When I walked out of Oklahoma State, I was put to the test on a daily basis at Oklahoma State. You know, as a walk on, people are thinking that you're going to be the one to quit because you're not on scholarship. You're the one that you're just here just to be here in a sense. But you know what I'm
Right.
saying? So you had to earn your spot even more so than you did it in high school. So, you know, as I uh, as I transitioned from high school to college, it was almost like I was addicted. Mentally, I was addicted to football. I had to be great. I had to prove everybody wrong. I had to show the coaches that said, "Nah, you ain't the guy." You know, so I had to show them that I was the
It
guy.
became your whole
So,
identity.
yeah, it changed your whole identity. And we walked the BAM. I transferred to Northeastern State. I ended up being that guy. You feel me? Yeah, and that's how I met Eli. You feel me? Yeah, Riverhawks be the change. But yeah, that's where I got my starting spot at corner, and you know I balled out, and but ended the season with a torn ACL. So no pro day, no
Mm.
tryouts, just all stop. And that's probably like the most, because like the rehab isn't what actually gets you in moments like that. It's actually the mentality of it all. Because like when you work for like 20 plus years, putting your work in and investing your time, your patience, everything into one thing, and then that just like poof, you lose track of who you are. You like you because it's hard to detach yourself from something that you just placed your identity on like that. So that identity crisis do kick. It hits bad.
Hit hard, bro.
But
It's like you
Oh
give
no,
your
I get it.
love, just like you
mm-hmm,
give everything you can to the game, but like I think Vic said it before on episode 2. You know what I'm saying? How do you love the game if the game don't love you back? You feel me?
exactly. And you do have to come to terms with that. It's hard, you
Mhm.
know. It literally just happened again, like like what, like 2 days ago. We were supposed to be playing in the IFA, and that league is like in shambles now. So we
Mm.
opted out, and you know it's crazy because like I was mentally getting myself geared up. Okay, I'm coming out of retirement. You know, what I'm saying, I finally get this chance again. Maybe because you know when it's like a relapse. Like you said, Eli, it's like a drug. Once you like put that drug on the counter right there for you to look at, you're just going, I gotta take it. So
Mhm.
so me, I instantly attached myself to football again because like it's just natural. Like I felt like I belonged and be able to play at that high caliber level at a professional level. So when that went kaplooey, it it was
It
almost
ain't
like
funny.
a
It's just a good word to use. I'm sorry.
That man said kerplooey.
kaplooey, bro.
But I get it though. I get it
I
though.
get, you know.
When it all went poof, like it was just like, dang, bro. Like that was like a realization moment for me. Like
Mm.
maybe that football just isn't in the cards, but that's not a bad thing. You feel me? And
Right.
that's what I had to come to terms with, and I'm still trying to come to terms with. It's an ever moving goalpost. It's a balance. Um, I just one thing that I'm trying to tell myself right now is that I have to shift my focus to something to another goal that I probably want to do, where that's like building my future, you know what I'm saying? Building a family, building any type of other hobby that I would want to do. So that's mentally where I'm at. But one thing I will say is that um mentally football, I don't think it's ever going to go away, you know? Like
It's because of
it's
that.
a
It's
part
that
of
what
us.
if.
Yeah, because there's always going to
Yeah,
be that what if. There's always going to be like
I went through that.
that voice in the back that's like, if only you did this, if only you did that. But like at the end of the day, I did give it my shot. I tried.
My
Lay your head down tonight. I gave it everything I had. Gave it everything I had. I gave it everything I had. Yeah.
but
So
nah, I feel that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think the what if moments be the biggest, like especially like I know me. That's one thing. If we don't got nothing else in common, I know me, Vic, and Mike got coming out in the COVID year. That's the biggest what
Boy,
if, the biggest
boy,
because
because
it's
you came
like
out with W too.
yeah. So it's just like when everything going right, going smooth. I had great times. I show out in everything that I needed to do. Excelled in my interviews with teams. I excelled in my draft process. Changed my body. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing everything, training like a pro. Like I was a pro before being a pro. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
everything and expecting like certain teams that was scouting me a lot harder. I'm expecting to like, get a call, get drafted, not get no call after draft. I expected to get drafted. I'm not gonna hold you down. Like I was, you know, I don't talk it enough, but like I was actually good. You know what I'm saying? For so long, I felt like I was just an average player, but I went from an average player to a great player. Like, you know what I'm saying? In some ways, it was like I didn't have enough eyes on me, and I knew I had to fight harder because as a D tackle, I'm vertically challenged. You know what I'm saying? I'm a 6 foot D. I'm an Aaron Donald. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't as chiseled as Aaron Donald, but I ain't as big as I am now. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely, and Mike seen me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's a witness to it. You know what I mean? Like I bring up guys like Derek Brown. I trained with Derek Brown. We've trained with Derek Brown. First round,
Mm-hmm.
my trainer told me, "Oh, you move bigger, better than Derek. Derek just bigger than you. Like he's tall. He's 6'5". You know what I'm saying? 6'5", 6 foot. They naturally, you're gonna go 6'5". Naturally, he went to Auburn. You know what I'm saying? My stats was better than him. My stats was better than Dexter Lawrence. But it's just like, again, you have to work. It's almost like being that black man in society. And I hate to pull that card, but sometimes, you got to work twice as hard. Sometimes if you like, both of y'all got dreads. Some people will see y'all as dreads, like, oh, thugs. And it don't matter if they black or white. I know black people do that. Man, them boys thugs, them gangsters. So like sometimes when you chasing that what else is almost like, dang, what if I'd have did this? What if I'd have did that? Because you know what you could do. You know what I'm saying? But my
Mm-hmm.
advice to you, Bryce, on that what if, um, should probably change the what if to what can. You feel me? Like, or who are you? You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta look yourself in the mirror and say, who is Bryce Brown without football? Because at the end of the day, no matter how much we love the game, you can't play football forever, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and I know you're young. You know what I'm saying? You're younger than me. Now you ain't no young tenderoni, but
Yeah, I can't
but
be.
we getting older, and it's like I know what it feels like. I mean, fortunate enough, I was able to scratch that itch for me and get an opportunity post
Yeah.
college. You know what I'm saying? Um, so to not have that opportunity at all, I know that itch is probably a little different. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, dang, I ain't
Mm-hmm.
get nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But time is winding, obviously. You know what I'm saying? And this is not to tell you can't do it. I'm not here to tell you can't do it, tell you not to do it. But I want you to put the work in to do it. Give it everything you got. You feel me? Because if you give it everything you got and do it the right way, then something good gonna come out of it. It may not have nothing to do with football, but you'll learn a lot about who Bryce Brown is. You feel me? And that
Yeah.
is more important than any pick, any route, anything that you can cover on the field. Because at the end of the day, football, the sport has always been able to like. There was two reasons why dudes play football. It was love and money.
Yep.
But the most important part should have been the third one is the how to teach you how to survive in society. Camaraderie, everything that comes with football is in life. Camaraderie, upsets, adversity, being hurt. You feel me? The highs of the highs, the lows of the lows. Like everything that you learn in sports, it's in the real world. You know what I'm saying? And I think that sometimes we forget about that aspect of the game. Which is why it do suck sometimes when you ain't got it no more. You know what I'm saying? This whole podcast was centered around locker room talk. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all guys, I done played ball with, I done trained with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. But yeah, that's my advice to you, Vic. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
I know you been sitting back there, man.
but before Vic, before you say anything, I
Yeah.
want to piggyback off of what Eli said just a little bit.
Mhm.
A famous quote that Kirby Smart, when I was playing at Georgia, what he told me, which always stuck with me, is be where your feet are.
Mm.
Don't try to like look off in the distance. Don't let your body be here and then your mind somewhere else because you're not focusing on what's happening right now. Because if you focus on what's happening right now, what you do right now, you can build atomic habits and build on it for your future. Because you still can have that long-term goal that you want to get at,
Right.
but your short-term goal, what are you going to do in the next hour, in the next 12 hours? What are you going to do tomorrow? You feel me? Like, what are you going to do during this week that you can like build on for next week? Because if you build those atomic habits and be where your feet are, you'll be in a better situation down the road than you are thinking that you are right now. And that's why. And another quote that he also told us is, like, say if we just had a big win over a team, we played them on Saturday. You got 24 hours to live in the glory, but the next day we are focusing and moving on. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you've had your glory days, you had your good days in college or whatnot. But if you want to transition and still continue, what are you doing now to get to that goal? What are you doing now to help build that legacy of your future that you were just talking about? You feel what I'm saying? Like
Exactly.
just building on little things every day and developing those good habits to like really get your mind focused is what's going to help you go forward because we all were athletes right here. You feel me? Like we all had those moments where like, damn, boy, I just fucked up. Not messed up on that play. I just messed up on that play. But at the end of the day, you got to move forward, bro. So it's like next play mentality. Like you got to keep it pushing. Like it sucks
Yeah.
because we were talking about, showing your emotions and stuff like that. But when it comes to life, you can't dwell on what you did wrong or what could have been. You have to like focus on what you're doing now and you can build on to go forward. As a man, we have to do that. When we have kids, when we have sons and whatnot, we have to instill that in them too. So it's just like it's next play mentality because we got to make sure that our queens or whatever are good. You feel me? Like
Mhm.
keeping it a being.
Ball on top.
That's my little spiel. I'm done.
And that's my story. Don't stick it to.
Very funny.
Damn, Skippy, brother.
Well, I don't have nothing lengthy or anything. There's a lot of cases where mental health has been a very big problem for me. Shoot, like there's a lot of times where it's been like, bro, I'm about to not end it all, but for sure the button has been pushed where it's like mentally I have no idea what to do. And certainly, I think there are times, certainly in a black man's life, because there's a target on our back for sure.
Mhm.
Certainly nowadays, uh, I don't think you know the young people truly understand what type of life you walk into whenever you turn into a grown man. Certainly after college, like how hard life will hit you. How quick
Thanks.
people put you in them handcuffs. Like there's just been a lot of times where it was like, bro, like what is happening? Like to where you don't have the answers and to where you need to lean back on God. Crazy enough, like ain't no other way. Cause shoot, sometimes ain't nobody else gonna hear you for real. You know,
Facts.
like that's how it feels sometimes. Not necessarily saying that's how it is, because Eli got friends. You know what I'm saying? He has people he can run to. Mike, I know you do too. Me, I know I do too. Bryce, we all have each other, and you always gonna have those guys that's like, man, if you ever need somebody, reach out. Like, but it ain't always that simple.
Yeah.
Ever. So
Thanks.
for real, like, what I'm saying? But I think it is truly important that you surround yourself with the right people that know you. Uh, I do think that, having a relationship with God is going to help you at the end of the day. Faith
Facts.
falters sometimes, you know what I'm saying? I used to be in the church the heaviest when I was young and shoot throughout high school. And then when I went to college, I was still in the FCA, you know what I'm saying? Seeing things here and there. I
Same.
still, have the faith. It just shows different, what I'm saying, within different people. So, whether your faith is strong or whether it's weak or
whatever your case is, whatever your story is, I still feel like, you know, some of us go through things where it's a real trial by fire. Like, you need to get put in them handcuffs because it gave you a different type of motivation,
Man,
or
say
it
that.
gave you a different type of, like, I need to go get it. You know what I'm saying? Because I've
Mm-hmm.
been put in them handcuffs and I was like, why? I'm not a
Yeah.
thing. Like, I there are people out here doing worse than me. Why am I sitting in the back of this cop car? Or,
Right.
you know what I'm
Right.
Hey,
saying? Like, they're
thanks.
like, I know I'm really good. I know I'm him. Like, I know I broke records. I've guarded NFL legends. Why am I not in the league? Like, why am I not getting a shot? Why don't I have an agent? Why am I not making millions? Like, someone needs to make it make sense. You know, ain't no way I'm like y'all, but I'm not making y'all money. Like, no matter how you try and flip it or make sense of it, I think it's important that you know who you are, and you keep in mind your purpose for being here. Like, and I think for certain people, the vision is bigger than what you can even, it's bigger than you.
Thanks.
You know what I'm saying? Which is, I know life is hard and it's gonna be hard. Like, it's not gonna get, the weight don't get lighter. You just handle
That's
it
facts.
better. You feel me? Like, my son is watching me, bro, every step. Like, right now,
Congratulations on becoming a father.
I appreciate it. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
congratulations, brother.
Appreciate
I
it.
don't think we
Appreciate it.
introduced that to the world yet, but
Hey,
congratulations,
it's
brother.
here. He here. Santana Kamari Hubbard. You feel me? On the
So,
planet already. You feel me? So,
Santana Hubbard.
Santana Hubbard. You
I got
feel
a
me?
football name.
Look, from the moment he opened his eyes to the moment he go to sleep, he watching. Like, and if I just let myself fall to the wayside, he gonna see. You know what I'm saying? He gonna watch and he gonna see that. Like, my daddy, he was a good man, but and the people that won't understand you, they don't know you. Like, those people that got something to say about you doing this, that, and the third, they don't know, like, how hard you're working, how much you putting on the line, how much you sticking your neck out for people, how much you not getting in return, what type of love you wanting in return. Like, all these things, these people, you not being asked these questions, you just doing stuff for other people, hoping that the energy get reciprocated. And it's not always going to be like that,
Facts.
unfortunately. You know what I'm saying? When you're a person. But,
Facts.
as long as you stay true to yourself, and again, having a good relationship with God, talking with him about, man, am I going in the right direction? You know what I'm saying? Am I on my P's and Q's? You know what I'm saying? Am I finding you? Am I serving you the way that, you know what I'm saying? Am I being what I'm supposed to be? And be real with yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Got to.
be real with
That's
yourself.
facts.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, bro,
Yeah.
I think, every man goes through what you're talking about, maybe not as extreme, maybe even more extreme. Like, you never know. But
Some people don't back up off that ledge.
exactly.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? One thing, what you just said, like talking to God, Vic, is like one thing I learned to do. I used to always like feel like I ain't know how to pray or really to talk to God. Like, I say the little Lord's Prayer that we say in football, you feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Or like I get ready to eat, I'm like, all right, thank you, Lord. And eat, you feel me? I used to always feel like I didn't know how to pray for real. And then I don't remember who told me. I don't know if it was a minister, a friend, whoever. I can't remember. I really don't remember who told me this. But long story short is start talking to God like you'll do to your homeboy. I'm like, God made me. And I can talk to him like he one of my dogs. Oh, bet. Man, God, man, I'm sick of these. Nah, I just playing. But like, really, I just being like, I found myself numerous of times, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, God, bro, you gonna have to fix it, dog. Like, I don't know how else to do it. Like, I need your help. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? And I would talk to him how I'm talking to y'all. You feel me? And when I learned to do that, bro, for anybody that's gonna hear this, when you learn to talk to God like as if that's your homie, Oh, but prayer seems so much easier. Like you feel confidence in prayer. You know what I'm saying? Like I can pray in a room crowded full of people now. I used to not like that. Like I used to hate praying in front of people. Like up until, you know what I'm saying, this year really, I still didn't really like praying in front of people. Cause and a part of me would feel conflicted about that because it's like, dang, am I ashamed of God or something? You know what I'm saying? Am I ashamed of my faith?
Mm-hmm.
And again, I still listen to secular music as the church folks say, but for y'all that don't know what that means, I still listen to rap music. You know what I'm saying? But I've learned to like feel myself more with gospel, more R&B, like something that's common to my nature, to my soul. You feel me? Cause I ain't gonna lie, when you get on that rah stuff, it do make you want to get outside. You mad for no reason. You wonder why you done kick somebody's car. Like you was just listening to Young Boy.
Facts.
But not to get too far off topic though, when you learn to talk to God like like he's your friend, to teach you how to pray, and for me that opened up doors for being able to pray for others. That opened up doors for me to be able to pray in front of others. Like I've led prayers and I'm kind of shy about it. I'd be quick, especially in the team huddle. Man, in that shoot, break us down, man, I'm finna run. I thought throughout him. I'm going quick. I'm telling you, we NASCAR with it because I don't know. I used to always feel like, man, because I don't want to mess up somebody talk about me praying. Now, funny story. I have a old teammate. He's a coach now. Shout out to Uka, a song. Uka stutter like no tomorrow. Like, listen, I know we all on mental health right now, but I can't talk about praying for a team without bringing up my dog Uka. And he's currently coaching at where's Uka coaching now? James Madison. I bet you if he reposts this, his players gonna know, man. And Uka's, man, God bless his soul. Uka's he's a great dude, man. Nothing bad to say about him. He's family to this day to me. But Uka stuttered bad. I'm talking about like he stuttered bad, bro. Bro, one time we was praying for the team, and sometimes, because we were all in FCA together, you know what I'm saying? But Coach always called on, I don't know if he called on him because he knew Uka was in FCA or if he just called on him because he wanted him to study. I don't know. But one time, I'll never forget, he was like, and please, look, and somebody in the background was like, man, get it out.
That's the word. I'm just spit it out. Take your time.
Take your time, like, bro.
I'll lose it, boy. Somebody,
Bro.
spit it out.
But nah, man, I say all that, it's like I said, I cope with laughter. Laughter is good for the soul. But yeah, man, seeing stuff like that, I didn't want to have no moment for me to like folk like call my prayer out. And and that's not to say Uka's prayers wasn't meaningful or anything like that, but it'd be little stuff like that. I'm like, man, what if I mess up on the prayer, But now I'm cool. Like I can pray for anybody, pray for myself, pray for my friends. I pray for all my friends. Honestly, I pray for all my family. And just I'm getting to the point where I'm praying for things around the world, shockingly, which that's new to me. I ain't never done that for real. And another thing too, man, you heard it first on True Talk. I'm praying for the relationship of me and my dad. That ain't something that I've always voiced to be able to pray for him in that manner. I kind of gave it to God. I thought I gave it to God, but I didn't. I still it just sounded cool to say out loud. But as I'm maturing and becoming my own man, I do pray because I do want to, in his later days, you feel me? I do want that relationship with him to be able to come to him and say, saying like that. And, like we ain't got to be the closer to close, but like we can check on each other. It can be copacetic. I ain't never heard my daddy tell me he loved me, ever. Not one time. I done been stabbed in the face, laid up in the hospital bed. I done been, man, all type of stuff. I ain't never heard that man. I done seen him type it. He done typed that on the message. But I ain't never heard him look at me and say, I love you, man. And that for me, to this day, would do numbers for me. Just because I think I've always sought that. Like I was seeking that from him. You know what I'm saying? So I learned to really give things to God. And again, I got saved like 2 months ago. You know what I'm saying? For the people that's wondering. But I was still, like I said, I had some things I was battling, you know what I'm saying? And I couldn't fully embrace that new chapter without living in my truth. You know what I'm saying? So now everything come full circle because I look back how I was living my life. I'm still gonna go have fun. Like I said, I'm the same Eli. I'm just gonna have a little different walk to me. You see me get a little stag in my jeans, you feel me? Like, I got a pimp walk going, you feel me? But we pimp walking for a different side this time. But yeah, so that's where I'm at, good people. Again, this was a perfect episode for us to switch it up. You know what I'm saying? Bring y'all into the
Facts.
minds of what we go through, not only as athletes, but as young black men, as young men, young educated men. And everybody have their own struggles. Everybody, as you can see, we all have our own form of struggles, things that we've dealt with. You can all see that we able to bring that brotherhood together because fellowship is also good for the soul. It's good for the heart. Because again, like Vic said, it's easy to say, "Oh, just hit me up when you're going through something. Just hit me up if you want to talk about something." That's the easiest thing to do in the world. Tell a person, hit you up. Oh, you can come talk to me. Tell a person, you know what I'm saying? But in all actuality, that's the hardest thing for a person going through to do. Because as a man, you don't want to feel like you putting your burdens on somebody. You don't want to feel like you nagging. You know what I'm saying? And truth be told, and I know I've been through this. I can't speak for everybody else on this podcast, but or anybody else that's gonna hear this in the world, but I know for me, I always felt like if I needed help, then what would you do? Like, what are you gonna do? You know what I'm saying? And that's the wrong approach to have mentally, if I'm being honest. But like, if I say, man, I need somebody to talk to, well, you tell me. I mean, if you tell me you can talk to me, and if I talk to you, then what? You know what I'm saying? What's gonna fix that? But at the same time, I will hurt, and when you hurt, you're not gonna see that actually talking to somebody does make things better. Mike brought up earlier today, or earlier in the session today, therapy. I am in therapy currently. You know what I'm saying? I fully embrace therapy. I am in full support of therapy for anybody, especially young men, you feel me? Because often, in our community, we don't really have that guidance. And again, like I said earlier, ain't no blueprint to life, ain't no blueprint to being a man, and it ain't no blueprint to being a black man. So if you have access to therapy, do it. You know what I'm saying? Google is free. You know what I'm saying? If you got an iPhone, got a tablet, Android, computer, uh, anything, hey Siri, all that. Just reach out to where you can find your nearest counselor. I don't even care if you drive up to your local middle school. All schools, fun fact, all schools, high schools have a counselor. Now, if you're going up off the street, I'm gonna look at you a little different. I ain't telling you being 40 and going there, like, I need to speak to the school's counselor. You're probably gonna leave out of there in handcuffs and shackles, brother. But
Break every
there
chain.
are but there are definitely ways out here, you know what I'm saying, to get the help that you may be seeking. And lastly, what I'll say is if you're Christian or whatever your religion is, I'm not here to bash nobody's religion. Take it up. Go to your church or go to your temple or whatever your religion is, whatever it is to help you become a better person. Go do that. For me, they say, for me at my house, we gonna serve the Lord. You feel me? So, yeah, man. I appreciate y'all boys keeping it real and raw with me, man. On the Real Understands Everything for episode 7, man. You know, the funny thing about 7, that's a symbol of change and a symbol of turning around. Awkward enough. And I just thought about that right now. 7 also is the symbol of completion, if I'm not mistaken.
Facts. I was about to say it is this symbol of completion.
Yeah. So
My favorite number.
man, so it like I'll
Vic.
say that.
Mike Vic, bro. Mike Vic. Don't
Oh
get too ahead of
Mike Vick.
yourself.
I'm gonna say Mike Vick. But yeah, that's funny. I just realized that. So yeah, man, episode 7, we happen to talk about some breakthroughs, some mental health, and season of completion. But yeah, man, tune in for this next episode. Sorry y'all
Yes,
missed
sir.
John today. He had some things going on. We also had a stylist that was supposed to come on, but it all worked out because we ended up getting a guest anyway. Shout out to Bryce, former OSU, that is Oklahoma State, not Ohio State. Don't get, saying, y'all don't get too hyped. Not just playing, but Oklahoma State, man, cornerback, transferred to Northeastern State, where Riverhawk. Shout out to them boys, but we ended up getting a guest anyway. So again, God works in mysterious ways, and we was able to pick his brain apart. We welcome him on to True Talk. We hope y'all learn something from our stories, from our testimonies, and through it all, you are loved. If anybody hear this, y'all want to reach out. If you go to Instagram, I email it right there. In bold, it right there. You feel me? If you got questions for us, it's right there. Email it. If you got brand deals, it's right there. You know what I'm saying? The list can go on. Oh,
yeah.
It's right there.
Right there. Now, I need y'all to do one more thing for me and tap that like, comment, and subscribe button for me. But yeah. So, anything y'all want to say?
Hit that
Like, comment,
button.
subscribe. I appreciate y'all. Definitely a great episode 7. Definitely hit on some topics that we needed to. It's always a pleasure.
So, as always, this is The Real Understands Everything, where we keep it real and raw.